John, when you were a child.
When the ghost trackers later reviewed the tapes, they were able to pick up what sounded like an EVP. Could this electronic distortion be a voice from beyond?
Is that true? Where are the women's underwear?
They think this voice says,
Is that true?
Were you more excited by power that you had over them or the sexual fantasies?
Sexual fantasies. Power, though, being a layer.
the ghost trackers believed that they'd received another response to this question.
Were you more excited by power that you had over them or the sexual fantasies?
Sexual fantasies. Power, though, being a layer.
I'm not sure, but they think that this voice could be saying the word equal. Whilst Bobby and the ghost trackers were attempting to converse with Gacy in the theatre, I accompanied sensitive Renee into the men's toilets.
John Wayne Gacy, if you're here, I understand that you stalked men and followed them into this bathroom. Why did you do that? Are there any victims of John's in here?
What is it that you think you're feeling, Renee?
A little bit of a shift. An increase in pressure. I felt all the hair go up on my arms, all this side of my body.
I'm sensing, Renee, that you're a little bit uncomfortable in that corner over there.
Yes.
Can you just explain to me why it is that you don't want to stand right over by the wall?
There was a violation that occurred in this corner. At first I thought that perhaps a person was facing the wall here and was violated, and then was turned and pushed. The man with the short hair, a dark, little bit shorter than me, was the one that was being pushed up against the wall, both frontwards and backwards.
Renee clearly had some brutal images flashing through her mind. I wanted to see if Bobby could feel the same violent emotions that she'd been picking up.
Probably some of the areas that you were feeling immediately are this corner.
Yes.
And then, and this is again, I'm
And
being
how?
pushed over here. There's a forcing.
No, what part of you?
Just everywhere. The body, I'm, pushed, and then I get hit, and then I do see blood. Yeah, I do see blood.
So given that you both feel that certain violent things have happened in here, anything related to John Wayne Gacy that you sense, Renee?
These particular feelings, not John Wayne Gacy.
Has he come through in spirit at all?
I think he was there in the theater when we were talking. I think he started getting worked up a little bit anger-wise. When these guys were asking questions, specifically, I was starting getting answers. We're getting deeper into that dark heart that he had.
So Bobby and I just got back from the music box. First of all, when we went into the theatre, Bobby talked about where John Wayne Gacy had sat. My thoughts were that a man like John Wayne Gacy, knowing how he behaved, it was obvious that he would sit at the back. And then we went into the toilets in a porn theatre. I suppose anybody might expect rationally that things have gone on in there. And surprise, surprise, that's exactly what the paranormal group came up with. Bobby and the lady from the paranormal group were separated, and when he came in, he sensed the same situation. So I suppose you might be able to take something from that, but I think just being there factually and rationally, you could have picked those things up.
In the early 70s, Gacy was busy juggling his Jekyll and Hyde lifestyle, the upstanding community man and the dangerous nocturnal prowler. Divorced while in prison, he remarried in 1971 and moved into Norwood Park, a conservative and family-orientated community. He launched a new business venture as a building contractor, and, to all around him, he successfully conjured a facade of respectability.
To me, it's almost like John Wayne Gacy was a multiple personality. The successful contractor, the friendly neighbor, the community organizer. On the other hand, he's this clandestine killer whose murderous compulsions are starting to overpower him.
Late at night, past midnight, he would drive down to the near north side of Chicago, north of downtown, to Washington Park, which is better known in Chicago as Bughouse Square. Gacy would cruise this area in his automobile, driving around the park looking for pickups. And it is believed that that's where the very first victims that he solicited and later murdered had come from.
I wanted to take Bobby to Bughouse Square to see if he could connect with Gacy the stalker. So Bobby, we've left downtown and we've come slightly further out of the city, and I wanted to bring you here specifically to this square because it holds quite a lot of significance for John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, I feel that when we start driving up, this is more Gacy related. I don't know if he took a victim from here or left a victim here. What I'm picking up is that the victim isn't dead or didn't die. He did what he did. This person was abused physically and then left here. It's just, I feel alive. I feel like I'm waking up here. You know what I mean? Or like I'm coming from unconsciousness into consciousness, but it's still all just, you know. And I feel incredibly nauseous. Like I want to throw up, and I feel internally damaged. You know what I mean?